Feels good. Yeah, we're going to be doing that. That's happening. So what I'm going to need you guys to do in the comments below, because you're a part of this, I want you guys to tell me what you want me to test as we're going and playing Blessed. It's going to be like a 4-hour experience thing. You know, what questions do I need to ask if I get the opportunity? I should have that opportunity. What should I really be looking at whenever I'm playing this game? And of course, I know what I should be looking at, but I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. And I want you guys to feel secure that I will do my due diligence here for you guys. So leave it in the comments below. Absolutely, let me know. But today's video is going to be a rant, commentary, little tickety talk about MMOs. I think a lot of you guys are coming at this genre in kind of a weird way, kind of got a weird perspective going in. Whenever, at least you guys talk about the games on the forums, talk about it on the YouTube comments and things, you seem a little bit confused about where I'm coming from. And you guys, you look at games and you're reviewing them as if they're just games. I think that's the issue. You look at an MMO, let's say like Bless Online. And, I've mentioned this so many times, I'm so confused how you guys are so confused, but you look at a game like Bless Online, which in a lot of ways, admittedly, does look kind of vanilla, and you guys you'll say, well, why are you excited about this? Why are you such a sellout? Why are you such a shill? Which, yeah, I mean, I am partnering with them. They're flying me to San Francisco. Heck yes. But I have not accepted any partnership for years because I didn't like the games. So why am I excited about this game? And I've already done basically 2, 3, 4, 5, if you count top 10s, a lot of videos saying why I'm excited about this game, but it seems like you guys still aren't kind of getting it. So I'm gonna help you with my explanation of why this game, why any game, and really just the idea of MMOs and how you're kind of coming at them incorrectly in a way, how your perspective, I think, is just kind of skewed because maybe you haven't really deep dive into an MMO in a long time. This is probably a lot of the comments I'm getting from people who maybe had their first MMO and it was magical, it was beautiful. And we talked about how, there is something very specific with, I think, MMOs especially, when it comes to first-time experiences. That magic, or the magic of MMOs, is the magic of discovery. Mainly, sure, I want to believe. That's the dream, right? So, when you look at all these new games, you look at the gameplay, and you're saying, well, what do they have to offer? What is new? What is special? And sure, every single game's got these little tweaks and turns here and there, but honestly, even if a game was 100% just a clone, which just recently I've actually started covering some clone games and have said they're really good, there is still value in those titles. There is still something worth doing in those games. Now, why? Why? Sky, you are the snobbiest game critic I've ever watched. I know a lot of you guys are thinking that. So why am I giving such a pass to some games? That's really a big question. A lot of you guys have said, why? Tell me. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right here. It's more of a you thing. It's not a me thing. It's not that I just flip-flop all the time. It's not that I'm a shill. It's not like that. It's a you thing, guys. Okay, so I'm trying to help you. It's just a little point of view thing. Okay, so here we go. Basically, when you look at MMO, you are seeing a raw game. You are imagining what it's going to play like. You are imagining the mechanics. You can even play. You can get a demo. You can get a trial or whatever. Maybe you're in beta and you play the game, and even then, you as just a normal consumer aren't quite getting the full picture because you're missing a huge concept with MMOs. And I've kind of hinted this throughout my whole career, but basically more than any other genre here, MMOs are not games. Actually, I've actually been somebody who's really fought for the fact that the MMO is a proper game genre. But what I'm saying is that MMOs are much more than their physical gameplay, more so than any other game. Or the opposite would be something like Binding of Isaac. Binding of Isaac, you can play that alone. If you were the only person in the world that played Binding of Isaac, you would have had a good time, right? A lot of titles like that. But then you go a little bit further, where Call of Duty is split multiplayer, right? So the multiplayer component, the esport component, that definitely adds some weight to the gameplay, doesn't it? The popularity, as well as the different seasons of Call of Duty. Every year or every other year, you get a good Call of Duty. Now it's every 4 years. I don't know. You get something, right? And you're part of that trend. You're part of that event. You're a part of that community. So there's that extra social element to it. So MMOs to me, and I think to you and to everybody, the way it should be portrayed in its commercials, in its gameplay and everything, and in the way that we see MMOs, regardless if it's portrayed like that or not, should be more akin, I think, less to a normal game, which it is a game, you do play it, but there's actually a lot of other things that you do partake in, such as concerts or festivals. And I think that's more the mindset that you should have whenever you go into a new MMO. A lot of people ask me and everyone else, they just throwing it out there on forums. Why are you guys excited about Bless? Why are you so excited about new MMOs? So not just Bless, it's other MMOs. Sorry, I keep shilling for Bless. My bad, guys. Why? And that's just because, like, even if it's not your favorite band, isn't it cool if you guys can all get together and just go to a concert? Even if they're not known for being good live, you can go to a concert. You're going and you're experiencing something together with other people, and you might find some new, interesting experiences overall and share that all together with them. You never know. You never know. And I think with MMOs, it's more potent, that discovery, that never knowing, those new, very explorative experiences, I want to say. That is like the specialty of MMOs. The magic of MMOs is discovery. I've done multiple videos on that. I've done a lot of videos hyping up other MMOs. I've played so many MMOs in my past. I have all these experiences making content on these kind of games, talking with you guys, playing with you guys, doing this stuff that I truly, deep down in my gut, I do believe that MMOs are less of just a game than any other genre. That's not saying they're less games, though a lot of their mechanics are not, it's not always as action-packed, it's not always as customizable and, et cetera, et cetera. There's always some things that, they give and take with the mechanics to make the game massively multiplayer, but that's kind of the point, is that a lot of the gameplay, you might look at a game and say, okay, well, that's not as good as Dark Souls combat, why even play this game? For its MMO, content, for its social content. There are games out there, bunny ears actually, that are just social games. Like VR chat is another big one. And there were some MMOs like Second Life and IMVU. I don't think you really call it an MMO, barely call it a game, but yeah, you have some things out there that maybe they're games, maybe they're not, and they're just used to be social. And then from those social interactions, they can then gamify themselves, actually. So you have forums. Imagine this, guys. Back in the Dark Ages, you just had forums. There's no game there. And then they made a game around the forums, and that created, let's say it all together here, MUDs. Yeah, it created MUDs, which then graphical MUDs came, and then, they turned into MMOs, and wow, man. A lot of really cool creative stuff can just happen by just a bunch of people getting together and just trying to do something, just talking it out, and then stuff and things happen. It's really awesome. So when you have a really solid but maybe it is a vanilla foundation, but I'm just gonna say Bless Online does have a foundation. When you have a really solid foundation, a core concept, and then you put it out there, and you're not trying to do too many radical things, in a lot of ways that can look not very exciting. It can seem like there's not that many good trimmings. Why play this game? So I understand your perspective. I do. As somebody who is really, really critical about video games, and I have dumpstered MMOs before, abso-freaking-lutely, I get what you're saying. However, you're also not getting the full picture. You're not understanding the full scope, the true massivity of what makes an MMO an MMO. I think you're kind of missing the magic, and it's probably why you're going from game to game, thinking they all suck, they're not as good as your first one. And I've made a lot of videos. I really wish YouTube would promote those ranty videos more. This one's probably not gonna get views either, because fuck editing. I'm not here to entertain. I'm just here to try to educate, just tell you, you need to look at MMOs as if they're a festival. Think of them as something time limited, because they are. Think of them as something that's culturally, limited or corralled in a way, because they are. Games like Blade and Soul and Black Desert Online, they work in Korea because the internet, the ping, the netcode, it really works more for people who can actually, they actually have good internet connection. Over here in the West, generally we don't, which is kind of a tragedy, but we're also further apart. Understand that. So those games work in that situation. Over on the West, it was a little bit wibbly wobbly and a few other things. And as well as time limitations with the graphics and the limitations of MMO design as a whole, they are time limited. So think of them more as festivals. I'm not going to ramble and rant too much about this, but if you do that, if you just conceptualize this, okay, with me, friends. Think of them like you're going to a concert. Oh, wow. Hey, guys, Bless Online. What's the ticket price? Like 20 bucks or something? All right, cool. I'll get admission. Let's jam together. We're going to sit together. Yeah, maybe we can get some bites to eat together. Think of it like that, and you are going to have so much more fun. Not only that, but you're going to be able to participate in the communities so much more readily. You're going to just be able to jump in. You're going to be able to kind of have a frame of reference and understanding of why everyone else is excited, what they want to talk about, what they want to pursue, and what they want to do when play these games. And I think in the end, you'll be just less salty. I know myself, it's been, like I said, I've been very critical of a lot of games lately, but for MMOs, I've decided to kind of take a little bit of a step back with the reviews of MMOs, because in the end, how can you actually review an MMO? If an MMO is mostly its community and its social interactions, sure, I can talk about the mechanics that are social, I can talk about the netcode, but in the end, really, who can truly review a full MMO? I think it takes a village. It takes a whole village to build and make an MMO, to play and keep it alive, and to really be the ones to also promote and tell people, is it good? Is it bad? No one person can do that. So trying to criticize me, criticizing other games, or not criticizing other games, or wondering why people are talking about these games. Dude, we all have our different opinions. We're all very different people, and we We just want to come together and try something, you know, just try this. We just want to try it. So that's what MMOs are. Every single new one is just a new try. It's a new concert, you know? It's a new restaurant just got built up. Let's go see what the daily specials are today or something, you know? It's like that. And there are barrier to entries. There's time, you know, a lot of time and effort that needs to go into MMOs. Sure, it's a lot harder. You don't just buy a ticket and then just watch a concert. That's true, absolutely. So there's definitely a need for reviews, list videos, things like that. And definitely a need for criticism and people to be cynical. However, to the point of shutting people down, trying to shut down conversations, or just blacking out the internet because you just cannot understand why people want to play a game that is so obviously going to be garbage. You're missing actually the majority of the picture. You're missing the point of MMOs, and I wish you the best of luck. And hopefully now you kind of get an idea of what we're doing. Maybe it sounds like a cop-out, but really that's just where we are right now. That's MMOs, massively multiplayer online games. Imagine that. The online component, the social and community component, is more important than the actual gameplay. MMOs aren't games. They're not just games. They're much, much more. Massively.